Hi guys, Mrs. Thorne here. I'm just going to do a short English lesson today. This is our learning question. It says, can I identify and use the correct punctuation to end a sentence? In order for you to be a successful learner, I'm looking to see if you can explain what a sentence is. Are you able to identify and explain the meaning of a question, end, and exclamation mark? Can you suggest the correct punctuation needed for each sentence type? And will you be able to use the correct punctuation to demark different sentences? Let's see. Pause the video and think about what the answer could be to one of these questions on the screen. Wonderful. I bet you thought of a really good answer to one of those questions. Let's carry on to find out whether or not one of your answers were correct or not. So, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which is a complete thought. It must make sense on its own. It must contain a verb. Here's my example. Pikachu ran away. I know this is a sentence because it is a complete thought. It makes sense on its own and it contains a verb, which is ran. Let's have a look at my next example. Pikachu sat smiling. I know this is a sentence because it is a complete thought, it makes sense on its own, and it contains a verb, which is sat. Your turn now. Which of these groups of words really are sentences? Think about whether anything happens. Can you sort them under the correct heading? So here are my two headings, sentence and non-sentence. And here are the group of words. Can you pause the video and think about which group of words really are sentences? Fantastic. I bet you were able to find which group of words really were sentences. Let's be reflective and check your answers. I bet you were able to find the real sentences. Well done, guys. So, what punctuation is needed at the start of these sentences? At the start of every sentence, there must be a capital letter. Can you have a look at some of the sentences underneath and try and think where the capital letter needs to go? I bet you did a great job at identifying where the capital letter needed to go within these sentences. Let's be reflective and check your answers against where I thought the capital letters needed to be placed. Superstars, I bet you identified the right place for all those capital letters. Well done, guys. Let's move our learning forward. So, how can you hear when a reader reaches the end of a sentence where you might need a piece of punctuation? There should be a pause as the reader takes a breath, ready to read the next sentence. I'd like you to close your eyes and use your fingers to count how many sentences you hear when I read the passage on the next slide. Get ready. The Ninja Turtles are superheroes. The mutant Ninja Turtles live in the sewer of New York City. They are trained to use ninjutsu. Splinter is their sensei. He is a rat mutant. I wonder, how many sentences did you hear me read out in that passage? If you counted 5 sentences, you were correct. Well done. Fantastic job. So, what punctuation ends a sentence? Every sentence ends with one of 3 punctuation marks. This could be an exclamation mark, a full stop, or a question mark. So, when do you use a full stop? Full stops are used for general sentences which state something, like mine here. Trolls are fun. Scooby is scared. Your turn. Can you add the full stop to these sentences? Pause the video and figure out where you think the full stop needs to go. Let's be reflective and see if you place the full stops in the correct place. Did you place the full stops where I put mine? If you did, great job. You put the full stops in exactly the right place at the end of the sentence. Well done. So, when do you use an exclamation mark? Exclamation marks are used for sudden or strong emotions such as shock, disgust, anger, or happiness. Just like in my examples here. Fire! Fire! As you can see, here is my exclamation mark. No! Stop that! At the end of my sentence, I have used my exclamation mark because I am showing a strong emotion. I wonder, could you have a go at placing an exclamation mark in the right place within these sentences? Pause the video and figure out where you need to add an exclamation mark to these sentences. I bet you did a great job at figuring out where you needed to place an exclamation mark. Let's be reflective and find out if you got the right answers. Super job. Did you place it in the right place? If so, bonus effort. So, when do you use a question mark to demark the end of a sentence? A question mark is used when a sentence is asking something and has an answer. Just like in my examples here. What is your name? As you can see, I'm asking somebody something, and at the end of my sentence, I have placed my question mark. How did you do that? Again, I'm asking somebody something where I'm expecting an answer, and at the end of my sentence, I've used a question mark. Where are you from? Your turn now. Can you add a question mark to these question sentences? Pause the video and think about where the question mark needs to go. I bet you did a great job at identifying where the question mark needs to go. Let's be reflective and check your answers against mine. Did you place all the question marks in the right place? If so, super effort. I wonder, can you put all of your learning together from this video and add the correct punctuation to end these sentences? If you can, that will be really impressive, and I'd love to see your work sent into our school email or Twitter account. Well done, guys.